Imagine a scenario where U.S. taxpayers suddenly find themselves as the primary shareholders of a major tech company. This is precisely the situation we are facing with Intel, and the implications for taxpayers, both now and in the future, are anything but straightforward. Recently, the Trump administration made headlines by announcing that the government has acquired a 10% stake in Intel, a prominent California-based chip manufacturer that has struggled to keep pace with competitors like NVIDIA and AMD in the rapidly evolving field of artificial intelligence. Over the last 5 years, Intel's stock value has plummeted by more than 50%, raising questions about the wisdom of this investment. However, the administration has been vague about the future of this investment. There are no clear guidelines on when or under what conditions the government might sell its shares, or if it plans to sell them at all. Additionally, it remains uncertain whether taxpayers will see any dividends from this investment, especially since Intel has not issued any dividends since the previous year. The administration has also stated that it will not take any seats on Intel's board and will only vote against the company in very limited situations. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick hinted that national security concerns were a significant factor behind this investment. While President Trump emphasized the potential for financial gain, "I will make deals like that for our country all day long," Trump proclaimed on Truth Social. "I love seeing their stock price go up, making the USA richer and richer. More jobs for America." Since the announcement, Intel's stock has seen a modest increase of about 4%. Some analysts believe that while there could be benefits from this arrangement, it also represents a significant and controversial expansion of presidential power into the business sector, an action that may not be the last of its kind. In fact, the Trump administration has already taken a similar approach with Japan's Nippon Steel, acquiring a golden share as part of a deal that allows the government to influence future transactions involving the company. Additionally, the Defense Department recently announced a $400 million investment in MP Materials, a rare earth miner, making it the largest shareholder in that company. The White House is also looking to take a share of sales from chipmakers NVIDIA and AMD when they sell to China. Trump expressed his desire for more deals like the one with Intel, suggesting that many people do not yet grasp the full potential of such investments. Kevin Hassett, who leads Trump's National Economic Council, mentioned that these types of transactions could lay the groundwork for a sovereign wealth fund, an idea that had been previously discussed as a means to give American taxpayers a direct stake in various companies, although it has not yet been fully realized. At some point, there'll be more transactions, if not in this industry, than in others, Hassett stated during a CNBC interview. It's important to note that the U.S. stake in Intel does not equate to a complete government takeover. Historically, the federal government has taken control of private companies during crises, but this current move appears to be more about market influence than addressing an urgent situation. Clyde Wayne Marks, a fellow at the Competitive Enterprise Institute, a libertarian think tank, remarked, "He's doing all this in a spooky, controversial way. Right now, there is no crisis." For context, during World War I, President Woodrow Wilson nationalized railroads and communication systems. More recently, during the 2008-2009 financial crisis, the government intervened to bail out several private firms. In those instances, the goal was to manage corporate assets temporarily, with the intention of returning profits to taxpayers. However, a 2023 study by the Government Accountability Office revealed that the bailout ultimately cost taxpayers around $31 billion. The U.S. government has a long history of providing financial support to private companies through loans and grants, with varying degrees of success. Notable examples from the Obama administration include loans to the solar company Solyndra, which went bankrupt, and electric vehicle manufacturer Tesla, which has since skyrocketed to a market valuation of $1.2 trillion. Some argue that the U.S. would have been better off if it had taken a stake in Tesla at that time. However, in 2010, the prevailing sentiment among both Republicans and Democrats was to limit government intervention in the free market. Dan Reicher, a former Energy Department official, noted, Our system has not typically been built that way. It's not how free enterprise is typically run. History has proven that a more free market approach, where the bottom line is prioritized by the companies, is a smarter way to go. Currently, Intel is facing significant challenges. Its manufacturing division reported a staggering loss of $3.2 billion in the second quarter, and the company announced plans to lay off 15% of its workforce by the end of the year. Additionally, it has canceled billions in planned investments and postponed the completion of a $28 billion chip plant in Columbus, Ohio. In a recent securities filing, Intel cautioned investors about the potential risks associated with the U.S. investment. The company warned that this arrangement might hinder its ability to secure future grants, depending on its performance, and could negatively impact international sales, while subjecting it to increased regulations both domestically and abroad. When asked if the Intel investment signifies a new approach to industrial policy, Trump responded affirmatively, saying, "Yeah, sure it is. I want to try to get as much as I can." What do you think about the government's stake in Intel? Is this a smart move for taxpayers, or does it raise more questions than it answers? Share your thoughts in the comments below.